one of the things is how we can do things. But I believe you exchange cards, so I'm sure he's going to continue the communication. But right now, my colleague Hussain, he will tell you more about the agriculture and the food and beverage system, more into the agriculture and I think the fishery. What?
Yes, mostly. First of all, I would like to thank you all for this coming and giving us this opportunity. And I think Hassan has covered a lot about MISA and what's going on. So basically, we are working in the agriculture, so in the the leadership of the business development. So basically, we are the engine, the kitchen of this well-established organization. So basically, what we are looking at is to develop all sectors across one umbrella, which is we have the agriculture and food processing. So we look at the value chain, across the value chain, where are the gaps, how can we develop the gaps, how can we overcome the issues, through many ways. One way is foreign direct investment. How can best practice can help us as a country. Also, through a local who is doing the best of developing themselves and working hard to really overcome the obstacles and the issues. And also, how can we also align with the strategies? You see a lot of national targets happening across the kingdom. How can we be part of this success journey? So that's the vision of each sector in the MISA, which we have 15 sectors. Food and agriculture is part of this. So we look into that. We look into the journey. How can we, build these bridges between us and the global practice globally in the agriculture from A to Z, all across the value chain. So we're looking at the upstream, from the fertilization, from the soil treatment, from the chemicals. How can we bring the best practice? How can we capitalize on our, native plants, trees that already, make it happen to live in such a harsh environment? How can we look into that and capitalize into that and bring it to the global? We have dates, we have agriculture, we have many abundant resources that we need to unlock and to share to the global. We have, for example, the dates, we have more than 300 types of dates. Each type has its own textures, taste, has its own health, nutritions that we need to explore to people, and it's considered as a superfood. So how can we look into that? Can we do it exactly what have done to the chocolate? Can we bring it to that kind of level? How can we make it into the new era of food when the people stay away from sugar? How can we bring date syrups, date sugars, into our ingredients and food ingredients and dessert and many other things? So we are working in many different areas. In agriculture, we have the long Red Sea. We have the more than 160 types of fishes, that needed to be explored to the global. And we have also the land and the infrastructure, the support with the government to unlock all these sectors and to make it happen. With the Green Saudi also, we are looking into that. How can we, bring a very strategic plans that could enable us to achieve strategically to the 110 billion trees, in 2050. So that's the plan. And so we are working across all the spectrums in the food and agriculture. How can we capitalize it? We have the coffee, the best coffee in the area. So in Jazan and the mountain area, we have already proven the attraction for these farms, the coffee farms. We have been approached by very leader companies like Nestle and Starbucks. They have already seen, we have visits to the farms. They really have the interest because it has its own unique, and they are planning to do a kind of R&D and innovation centers, academy to look into these farms. How can they capitalize on it? Because they have realized it has its own special, uniqueness compared with its variety of coffees. So that's kind of a type, and there we have the honey, we have many other things. This is as a farm level. We have on the other side, which is the processing, food processing. We look into all that kind of food processing. We want to be not only serving the local, we go beyond to and capitalize on our geographic location. By going to other continents and serve other continents. And there are a lot of initiatives that needed to be blended in the sectors to grow. And one of these initiatives is halal strategy. How can we look into, because halal is $1.3 trillion size of the market. And how can we look into that and blend it and come up with a very smooth approach? Because some other investors, when they come here, they struggle about looking at halal regulation in many other countries. We're going to standardize halal. There's a lot of movement of the government into halal and unlocking that sector by unifying the practice and so on. I do want to keep you for one. That's exactly happening across all the sectors. We have 15 sectors: energy, mining, you name it, education, sport, tourism. So we look into that thoroughly, deeply, more strategic, aligned with the national targets. That we could work and cooperate as a foreign and local and government level as well. So that's for me to just give you a heads up about what's going on, but that's going across all sectors.